My name is Kingsley, Mortey. This is the NDC Forum. I'm excited to be here. I'm glad you are excited to be here as well. Let's do this. This is Sunday, and we are back. We're going to do this. Hopefully, in the next 2 hours, you will understand why you may need to make a better choice for our country, Ghana.
You can engage in all the propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Has the exchange rate not exposed Dr. Bawumia and the NPP? At the end of December 2016, the cedi to dollar exchange rate was 4 Ghana cedis to $1. Today, it's about 16 Ghana cedis to $1. This is more than 4 times the amount of cedis one needed to buy $1 in 2016. Today, as a result of the free fall of the cedi, many businesses have lost significant amount of their working capital, with many collapsing in the process. Did they not say yeti sikaso?
Yeti sikaso. Omenyo hiamai enam amemua enkoyeti.
Ghanaians are worse off as prices continue to soar on a daily basis. Putting food on the table has become a daily struggle. The hardship is real. It's time for change. Vote for change. Vote for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
The 5 kg of rice has moved from 25 cedis to 165.
Hey! Boss, cement moved from 24 cedis to 105 cedis now. Hey!
The kenke is 5 cedis. The fish, I have 10, 15, and 20 cedis. Which one do you want?
Hey!
Stop the A.
Hey!
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Ghana cannot survive another 4 years of the NPP if Mahama Bawumia is elected president. By 2028, Ghanaians would experience unprecedented levels of poverty. He will plunge the country further into massive debt. Dozens of new taxes will be forced on the people to pay for Bawumia's economic mismanagement and corruption. Each family would owe the NPP government thousands of Ghana cedis. Unemployment will reach 1/3 of the country. There will be no money for health, no money for education. Disease and mortality rates will soar. Our children will have no hope and no future. We will not survive. On December 7th, the choice is yours. Don't let this be Ghana's future. Stop Bawumia. Save Ghana. The future is in our hands.
How can we solve the unemployment crisis in Ghana? Yes, Massa.
By using formula 133.
Can you expatiate?
Say, this simply means 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. That is the Mahama 24-hour economy policy. Under this policy, businesses will be given tax incentives, cheaper electricity, financial support, and security support services to encourage them to work 24/7 by adopting 3 work shifts of 8 hours each. This will triple job opportunities in the country. This policy will boost production, increase productivity, and generate well-paying jobs in all participating businesses and public organizations.
Ejumanu A.O.B.
Excellent. The 24-hour policy will be a game changer.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
2024, yeah, back to Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know.
It's Body Beats, the drum king.
2024, yeah, back to Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know. What's the one pay, mama? I feel the world lose to mama. It's the one pay, mama. I didn't know okay, mama. I am pay, mama. I feel the lose to mama. It's the one pay, mama. I didn't know okay, mama. 2024, yeah, back to Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know. Woman, yes, to Obama. Woman, yes, to Omano. Ubi, I see, yeah. Ubi, I see, you. Oh, no, I know, go. Oh, no, I know, go. What's about John Dramani? oh, na somebody as I never. What's the one pair, mama? I feel it will lose to mama. It's the one pair, mama. I didn't know okay, mama. I am pair, mama. I feel it will lose to mama. It's the one pair, mama. I didn't know okay, mama. 2024, yeah, but to mama. 2024, eh, you wanna know? Mama yantu Obama, mama yantu Omano, Ubi asi yeah, Ubi asi you. Onu anoko, what to buy John Kamani? NDC unapo. NDC, hey Yesu, hey Yesa, vote for President John Dramani Mahama 2024.
It's Body Beats, the Drum King.
2024, yeah, back to Amawana Mahama.
E-Levy creating 1 million jobs. E-Levy by to be creating 1 million jobs. Obi awoka say ye road to a few now creating jobs. We road to if you are and to be creating jobs. After person was there when they ba it be who say e ntro. Emebru na wu say ensem bebre omo kan ye no ye ntro. Enti obi a wo wa ban mu sesi a. Wo se to aba ma me. Na se wo to aba ma me na me ba ban mu a. Emra me a me de ba emesa atwam. Wo ka se emebru ni agimi. Emebru ni nyimi because wo pese o ka chem say wo wa ban mu. Wa ban na de eto emra bi ba ye. Na tuma me na se me ma ban ne ba
also oni control
o de tie o se me na bi o ka ban no ba o se
that is the defense also oni
o
control
se tuma me na me ma ban ne ba tell you na wa ban onu da gas here tisika so so kwamo de se Ghana for be kano kura the man His Excellency John Mahama elusu 2016 abato no na ye ntro ne say yet is so commodity. The Ghana for GD, say I'm Pasika or Yadi and draw up to His Excellency John Mahama, so say, on the doom so Abagana, or Brian himself, 90, 80 something, 95 at the bar. Now, His Excellency John Mahama, or a very diplomatic, or a very gentle, one Kasabebre. Now, you see, and found him thing, and him Redudua, and draw a bed behind. Entro di kini saa no kure piepe na entro anima guase ene saa sobo eye energy crisis a ye de boy His Excellency John Mahama no ono ni decision o take ye ene abo oman no kyereme se ka pa na ane ya Mary deal na ye NPP for ade ball NDC sobo no ba mo ba na nko matwam na nko ba yie fi ho Mom na akwa free western region. Edi akwa sis Ashanti region. Ese ya solving energy crisis. Ti we ni mu nyina no emebru na hu. Oma hu se antro.
Ntro de bebre MPP try. Look, the election is coming. The number 8 that we are talking about, you know. There will not be number 8 on the paper. The thing that you want to focus on is the umbrella. When you are going to vote, you can put your thumb on the umbrella directly, or you can put it on the side of the umbrella where there is a space for people to put their thumb. Of course, you can put it on the candidate as well. You want to make sure that when you put it on, you want to fold your paper such that your ink, your thumbprint does not mess with anybody else. It doesn't. Make sure that the paper is dry as much as you can. This is the symbol you want to look out for. This is the symbol you want to look out for. This is the symbol you want to look out for. Once you put your finger on the space that is provided at the side of this symbol, you are fine. I've seen a lot of the MPP people trying to confuse the people of Ghana that they should vote as many times as possible. You see, when the candidate is struggling, when the people are struggling, they fight. But the people of Ghana are smart. They know how to vote. We've been voting for a very, 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 very long time. And this will not be the beginning. This will not be the end of Ghana voting. We are going to continue to do this. And we are going to have an amazing time whilst we are doing this.
Mahama, run up your wet money. Mahama, organ number 2, Mahani, Sukuwa Dine, Hospital, Aqua Papa, Sagana Deya, Yebediye, Yahumba Oh, 1 million jobs, Mahama, oh, Baba,
Chairman, welcome.
Thank you very much, Kingsley.
How are you doing, boss?
I'm doing great. What about you?
God has been kind to me.
Yeah, God has been kind to us too. You remember the hurricane passed through and
yes. Hey, Charlie.
It was scary though. But
you people that are living in paradise.
Yeah.
You will continue to stand.
Yeah.
You cannot fall.
You
cannot fall at all. Yes. So very, 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 very interesting. So much is happening in our country today. There are issues. Galamsey is not leaving. Now the organized labor and many folks are joining the fight, and the CSOs also joined the fight on the issue of joining organized labor to fight against government that has been very involved in Galamsey.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a platform representing the collective voice of civil society across Ghana, the Ghana CSO platform is compelled to stand in solidarity with fellow citizens and organized labor in this critical national cause. The unchecked distraction caused by Galamsey threatens the livelihood of rural communities, public health, food security, and the sustainability of the natural resources God has abundantly endowed us with. We are fully throwing our weight behind the strike action of labor, and we strongly encourage all members and affiliates of the platform to support labor's decision. This moment presents an opportunity for every Ghanaian to unite and urge the government to fulfill its duty to protect our environment and ensure sustainable development. Finally, I would like to end by saying that illegal and irresponsible mining, which we call Galamsey, must stop now.
Chairman, your take on the matters of Galamsey, and of course you can go into the area of Ghana Medical Association, the gymnastic that they did. Chairman, let's go.
Yeah, thank you again, Kingsley, and let me say good afternoon from my end to our cherished listeners and viewers across the globe. Yes, we're still at one place when it comes to the menace of Galamsey and illegal money, responsible and reluctance of government to take a hold of it. That is really challenging, and it's very sad for a country like Ghana, known very well in the world, known for its leading production of gold after a number of countries, China, US, Canada, and maybe one other country, followed by Ghana. And so when we come to Africa, we are known for a leading producer of gold, so far as our place on the globe is concerned. So it shouldn't be heard, and it's unheard of, and it shouldn't be the case of Ghana to be known in the world as the gold becoming a disease, becoming a poison, becoming a chemical weapon, sort of, against the very people who must benefit healthily and healthily from this resource that the Lord or the Creator has endowed the country with. It's been almost 8 years now since this regime of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia came into power and decided, with support from many Ghanaians, from the churches and the media in particular, political parties and all that, to help all of us out of this kind of existential threat that faces the country. But unfortunately, when you look at those who are on the field, who are on the operational field, who are trying to find exactly what the problem is, and bring it to us, the information reports and the interviews as first-hand informants from the field, you realize that the failure largely is coming from the government. In fact, I'll say that they're mainly coming from the government, because what should be done is about compliance. It's about following the rules. It's about following the standard procedures of operation, so far as that the business is concerned. And you and I don't have that responsibility. We don't have that power, authority, to be able to hold those who have been licensed to operate, or those who are illegally doing it, to task. We are not empowered. We cannot do it. That's why we have all these paramilitary and the military, security and everything, with all the money, the budget that we allocate to this kind of fight has been overwhelming, has been a lot, into the billions of Ghana cedis. And we cannot see anything out of this, except that our water is being polluted, being poisoned left and right, north and south. And the whole vegetation, the environment, our trees are being felled indiscriminately. And that is a worrying matter and a shame to the country. And rightly, we have had people or various groups, including the NDC, coming out to demonstrate for the country, the world, to hear about it, and then the presidency doing something about it. But it looks like everything's falling on deaf ears. Nothing concrete is coming out of government side, except that they are playing politics. They are trying to twist arms behind the table, under the table, so that people who really want to go on the street and demonstrate, besides the demonstration, the Democratic Hub, who have been rounded up and detained somewhere with unlawfully and all that, So it's worrying. I am worried because we belong to labor, and many people in Ghana belong to labor, private or public. They are all part of labor. So if the various labor groups come together over a long period, July till a point, that we are, and give notice to government that if nothing is done within a certain window, they were going to go on the street to demonstrate. They didn't say they were going to cause coup. They didn't say they were going to remove the government by any means. They were just going to demonstrate in their numbers and show their revulsion against their willingness of government to tackle this situation. All of a sudden, we came to know at the last hour that the president met with the leaders of the labor organization, and they came out at the midnight, that is the day before the demonstration, to say that they have suspended the demonstration. What were they afraid of? The leadership and the government on the other side. Where was that? People are prepared to do that because that is what they want to do. So why all of a sudden come to announce something like that today? And when you read the release that came from the presidency, it's just a poor attempt to deceive everybody into laying their tools down or coming together to stop the country from doing the show that they wanted to show. Unfortunately, I took a look at part of the paragraphs, and I read maybe paragraph 4, Kingsley. Let me see whether I can find it and then do a justice to it. And that is annoying. Asking the labor organizations to bring political parties together for them to sign a pact. And I don't know what they mean by a pact. If you just let me look at it, a number of paragraphs from the presidency, office of the president, which was signed on a release on October 9th. That was the day before the scheduled demonstration. And it's following the press release issued by the organized labor on 7 October 2024 concerning your call to halt Galamsey illegal mining in and around bodies and forest reserves. The President of the Republic of Ghana, Adonka Kufuado, through the relevant sector ministers, invited the leadership, something. What annoys me is that the four, well, they said in 2 that they were going to take steps to withdraw the LI 2462 that gives authority for money to be done in the forest reserve. The 4 says that government urges organized labor. Okay, that's of particular interest to me. Government urges organized labor to call on all presidential candidates and their respective political parties to sign a pact committing themselves to the fight against illegal mining. And I ask myself, Why are you drawing presidential candidates into all this? They've all given you the mandate through the people's mandate, through you being elected into government as the leader of the country, the federal country. And we are being faced with this kind of war, genocide, being perpetrated by unscrupulous human beings, people who are closer to you in government, in fact, at the presidency. And we are crying over it. And you are saying that the political parties and their representatives should come to the table and sign an understanding, an agreement. For what? If you have a way of handling it, handle it. If you don't have a way, just say that you can't. This is not the useless peace accord that we sign as a rocha every election season. This is a mandate, and you have the authority. No presidential candidate can violate your authority. No political party can violate your authority by deploying people onto the field to make sure that they save all of us. I don't know whether you are saying that you needed them to also deploy some military or deploy their foot soldiers or their party support base into the forest to help you fight the menace. Or you wanted them to be around in the forest to help you clean the water. They cannot do that. And in fact, if they know anybody doing so, what authority do they have? Do they have an authority of arrest, or they have to report? The president has lost his touch of why he's the president. He has security agencies all across the country, from district to regional to national. And so if he cannot do it, he just tells us that he can't do it. And then we find a way. If we need to bring people from outside or ourselves, take the law into our own hands to get on the field, we can't do that. But to say that he should sign for what? Sign what? And Kingsley, that is what is very disappointing. And I want to look at the UTAG. You see, I saw releases from the UTAG leading to the last Thursday scheduled demonstration. They had followed and they are part of the organized labor, and they have traveled with organized labor, that's all organized labor, every step of the way until the last day, the 9th, when the leadership of the organized labor announced in a release that they were suspending the demonstration. UTAG, throughout their various campuses and their groups, went ahead and held a meeting and came out clear, decisively, that they were going to embark on a strike. And as we speak now, I believe they are on strike, so far as this Galamsey is concerned. So they did not, as intellectuals who are in our ivory towers on campuses, and teachers who are concerned about their students and their children and themselves, who know what it takes to hold government to task, they have decided by their releases from various campuses that they were not going to be part of the decision taken by leadership of the organized labor. In so saying, it meant that the leadership of organized labor deceived them, led them astray, and betrayed them along the way. And that is just unfortunate. What I saw also, or what we also was about a final release coming from Ghana Medical Association. They had all along been releasing their communique by a 2-man signature. The president of Medical Association and his secretary, that's the general secretary and the president, they both signed. They signed it as a dual, signature to every item of release that came out. About 3 of them came out earlier, assuring everybody that it was a collective decision. All of a sudden, on the 8th or 9th, the president alone, one Dr. Frank Serebo, who is the president of Ghana Medical Association, releasing solely a penny signature to a release to say that the Medical Association were going to be part of that collective decision to go on demonstration. And what surprises people is this: they are at the health centers, and they have been complaining about strange diseases that they are finding now in the medical centers. They are seeing births that come as deformities. They are seeing strange diseases, so they are very much concerned, and they are telling exactly how poisonous this Galamsey and the water pollution is. So let us all get on the road, get on the street, and just show that we are concerned. So government needs to do something. All of a sudden you say you're not going to be part of it. Yes, we understand. And we understand that they are a sector that needs to protect human life. But we have known this medical association as a group who in the past have gone on demonstrations and laid down their tools for a number of days, if not weeks, in a certain time in our history, during a certain regime. And to mention the NDC regime, the Mahama's regime, what makes it different today to decide to withdraw from the same thing that they were doing previously when it came to their welfare, their monies, and emoluments? So, you can understand the dynamics within the political divide and how government is trying to influence and compromise various groups that the citizens are relying on to make their voices heard, so that at least government will respond to what is very important. So it's very unfortunate. On the medical front, talking about, they have to be at the hospitals. Look, when it comes to demonstration and knowing they are essential workers, there is a way of doing a rotation. Some people, skeletal staff, can be left at the hospitals or the medical centers within a certain hours, and then are rotated with another shift coming in, just for that day, at least, or if for a number of days, it makes some impact. But to withdraw entirely is a disappointment, it's a betrayal of the cause that they had hitherto, committed themselves to. And so, Kingsley, these are the issues that we are having, and it's raging on. And I would want to plead with Ghanaians, wherever they find themselves, all across board, that we should continue to fight. We should continue to let the voices be heard. Let's see what we can do to help government. If they need our help, yes, we can. When it came to COVID, I remember NDC decided through the former president to form a team to help the government in COVID, the COVID fight. We were rejected. When it came to economic issues, we, as NDC in power in the 2015s, we invited everybody for us to sit at table at Senche to find a solution to it. But this government thinks they know everything. Meanwhile, they are the problem. They are the Galamsey that is affecting us. Because when you go into the premise, you go in behind the scene, just as Honorable Sama Blackwell has been revealing. Last Friday, he came out with another reveal to show that licenses are being issued like 11 or 12 a day or in a month. And the people who are even acquiring licenses are people closer to the political family. The president himself, his daughters and their friends are engaged in mining. And as to whether they are doing responsible mining, no, there should be a ban. There should be a hold on it for some time. But, licenses are being issued, and we saw the chief executive of the mining commission coming to define the fact that they are issuing a lot of speeding, a lot of mining licenses, because it's a way to bring all of them under an umbrella. But if you bring people under an umbrella and then you are not monitoring them, you are not complying, why would you have to continue issuing the licenses with them? So they are making the work of media coalition difficult, the fourth state difficult, and those who have risked themselves, their lives, to be on the field, traveling over the waters to find out who are those, using the champagne and all those kind of illegal mining in our waters. They are making it very difficult for them. How long? How long do they have to remain in the forest trying to find a way of fighting this illegal mining? Thank you. So, Kingsley? We are here. Yeah, you are muted.
Thank you very much. Our greetings to everybody listening to us from far and near. Our greetings to Chairman Kojoago, the NDC chairman for Massachusetts. Our greetings to Selassie and his friends on the road right now. And for those of us who are listening to us and watching us from wherever you are. So one of the things that Cardinal Turkson said this week was the fact that Ghana will be a failed state if Galamsey is not dealt with. Is that a sentiment that you share as well? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Absolutely. I thought you were being charitable as an elderly person in a statement. It needs to alleviate our fears a bit. Becoming a failed, if not failed, I would say it's a failed state. If you look at Ghana in all sectors, our economy is junk. We are not doing well. There's a failure to the extent that you have to go and cut off people's hair by way of the DDEP for pensioners and all that. We haven't been able. We cannot go to the capital market abroad. Even locally, it's difficult for us. There is a failure on our part. When you look at the economy, people cannot make ends meet. The dollar CD is not being checked from 4 cedis to $1 at the last count of the last administration, where we all, or many complain about, and today we are looking at over 16 to 17. That is a failure, and people are importing. Those who are importing, most of them have stopped. Those who are shipping, they have stopped. Those who are exporting from here, from outside, because they cannot meet the cost of import duties and its attendant taxes. So many have stopped exporting or importing into the country. You import, but the next round of your going to the foreign market to go and buy or import something, your capital is run down. So that is, those are signs of failure to further countries concerned. Security, here we are talking about Galamsey. What is our security? Failed. Very soon, and we have been warned that if we don't fight this Galamsey decisively, very soon we will be importing water. And the Ghana Water and Sewerage Corporation, Ghana Water Company has warned the country, and we are very much aware of that. The stability level of water is so bad to the extent that we call the water poison. All the main rivers across the country are polluted, maybe except the Volta River or the Volta Lake. But again, if you see the pictures coming from Afram River, those rivers that take their source elsewhere into the Volta River elsewhere in the midsection, is also being gradually polluted. So we are at risk. And very soon, if you're not able to provide basic water which is life, if you're not able to produce basic water to our people, then which country is it? Which human life are we trying to protect? Diseases are abound. People are having kidney failures, kidney that is damaged. They're looking for donors and all that, and it's difficult. So if we don't take hold, if we don't helm this in very soon, the country will collapse on us, and maybe we'll all have to find a way of leaving the country to go and live in our neighboring countries where we can find some comfort and can find life worth living. And Ghana will be abandoned. Maybe those who are in charge have a way of living there because they have all the money. So maybe they will remain in Ghana and they'll be importing water from somewhere. Those people who cannot, maybe will have to find a way of moving either to Burkina Faso, to Togo, or Cote d'Ivoire, where they can have a life of living on healthy and potable water Because if water cannot hold in Ghana, and you do that, you're attracting poison into your system, then you better cross the borders and go and find a place 2x4 or rent a place to stay for some time. Until these people who have amassed all the wealth, who have destroyed all our resources and made money out of it and kept for themselves for that greed, maybe they will be the only people left. And would want to live there maybe with other slaves to keep their life going. That is where we are heading towards. And it's very unfortunate. And these are the dangers. And these are the realities that we'll have to be having conversation about and see how dire the situation is, so that it behoves on every Ghanaian citizen, whether you are within or without the country, is a tax that is confronting, it's a duty that's confronting us now. And we all have to put our mouths and our minds over there and see how we can help. After all the labor, after all the struggle, after all the hustling, after all the life that we live abroad, we will want to one day, either Christmas, New Year, have time to go home, either to live there or at least go and take a rest if we have that vacation. Because that is where we find life worth living. That's where we were born. That's where we were brought up. Our families are there. So that's where our enjoyment is. But if it becomes so difficult for us to go back there, then who are we? Then where's the country? It's Nana Bawumia who have led us to this place, and they are not showing any signs of helping us. The candidate Bawumia is talking about next year or next time. If we make him a president, then he will find solutions. But now that he's in government, as part of government, as a second commander in chief of the government, he will not help us solve. He will not be a part of the struggle we are going through.
Chairman, but he did not say that he doesn't want to help. He said if he should help now, what will he do when he comes to power? If we should solve all the problem today, then by the time he comes, there will be no problem to solve.
That is ridiculous, and that's disingenuous on his part. Before due respect, because you were on a ticket, and people believe that you're going to help the president, because the president can't do it alone. That's why the Constitution mandates that we have a vice president. It's just like an assistant president. So the two of you are supposed to lead together, have discussions, give and take. How do we go about it? That is how a leader and his vice or his deputy, that's how they work. Even from primary school, where you have a senior prefect and you have a assistant senior prefect, we try to interact and have conversation as to how we want, what direction we want to go. So you cannot say that you have the solution today and that you will not offer it. And that if you offer it today, then there'll be nothing for you to do tomorrow. What is the sense in that kind of a statement? And I don't get it. And it's just sad. So somebody like this is looking for votes. You are not going to help us out of the situation we find ourselves in. Because if you help us, there will be nothing left for you to do.
Right.
Oh. It's a pity.
Chairman, out. Is that if he should solve all the problem now, what then will he do? But Chairman, John Dramani Mahama had a reason to call on the people of Ghana to take Ghana from a small group of people who are currently running government. And in fact, he actually said that not the MPP, but the people. This is what President John Dramani Mahama has to say.
Of all of you young people of this country, your future is at stake. And as I've said before, this election is not about NDC and MPP. It's about taking Ghana back from a small group of people, not the entire MPP. A small group of people have hijacked the NPP and are keeping the opportunities of Ghana to just themselves. When Dr. Kwame Nkrumah fought for independence for us, he fought for independence in order that every single Ghanaian can have equal opportunities. Unfortunately, that is not the case. A lot of our young people standing here have finished 3 SHS. And they've come out 2 years, 3 years, 4 years now, they cannot find work to do. That is unacceptable. And that is why NDC is going to come and continue the good work that it was doing. But in addition, our priority now is how to find work for you young people who are coming out of senior high school and out of university. Today, people are finishing university, finishing college of education, finishing nursing training, and they can't find opportunity in the world of work. That must change. And that is why I, John Dramani Mahama, have worn my boots again and decided to come into the political arena to put my experience at the disposal of the Ghanaian people so that we can work together to put Ghana back on its feet.
Chairman, your take.
Yeah, I mean, the president has been very clear. I don't need to add any word. And his communication is very clear. And he has laid emphasis on the very reasons why he's coming. The reasons being he's been there before. And those who are objective and fair in mind would agree with him that he delivered on his mandate within the 4-year period that we handed over the country to him. In many aspects, in many fields across the field, across the sectors, this man, brought his shoulders to the wheel, and he worked hard and led us to another pedestal so far as development and growth is concerned. Look across the technology sector, the communication, the IT, the databases, the infrastructure which we still are deficient of as a country. Our bridges, our roads are still not adequate to carry us so far as transportation is concerned. Look at the harbors, look at the airports, expanding and adding value, durability, quality-wise. It is not small handcuffs or some flowery things that you throw about and say you are developing. It is not about digging out some dam somewhere, like dugout, and say you are building dams that are relevant to improve and develop agriculture. And when he touched anything, it came in a very big way and delivered to add value. So, yes, he agreed. A few mistakes here and there, a few, blind spots here and there. It's about human institution. But he sat back home. He didn't leave the country for a jolly ride. He didn't leave to go to UK or London to go and stay there with his children and grandchildren. He lived within. He knew how the markets were performing within the domestic market. He knew what it took for you to buy gas or petrol into your vehicle and drive. He wasn't in the UK or US. He lived all the 8 years as a former president and related with the actors and players and industrial players, industrial activities. It doesn't matter your background, your lineage, as far as party is concerned. He will defer to you. He will sit down, engage you to give him advice. How do we resolve problems? In case I am coming next year, how do we do it? He engaged them. So what he's bringing along is a collective view and solutions for lifting the country from where we find ourselves as people together with him living within. So he knows what it is. So he is clear about that. But on the point of who are those now in charge in the saddle and leading the country, these are a collective few of a certain clan who had before today to our realization were just coming to use the NPP as a certain vehicle or tool to accomplish their own narrow purpose of capturing this country, Ghana, to benefit that small clan of brothers and sisters and the name of their ancestors, forgetting about Ghana, as if they went to a war to defeat Ghana, and therefore, having captured Ghana at the war, the spoils of Ghana, the land Ghana, must be appropriated by themselves to benefit themselves only. And that is what is happening. And if you belong in NPP, CPP, or other party, especially in NPP, and you put your mind clearly and your vision clearly on the table, and you want to watch what has been happening for the past 8 years almost, you come to realize that you were deceived as a co-NPP or a co-patriot of Akufo-Addo and his brothers. Now it's clear that you were not. You were never considered in anything. You were used as a foot soldier. You were used as a Delta Force member. You were used as an invisible force member. You were used as a polling station agent. You were sacrificed by your sweat and your blood to benefit only a few. And that is what is revealing today. Even when we are all, including the NPP guys, drinking from the same stream, river, pipe, and suffering, and placing ourselves, our health, at the danger of what is happening. These people that you guys followed to lift him and his brothers and his family and his co-wives and the ex-wives and the children onto leadership, today they don't see the reason why they should cry with you when it comes to basic water and making it safe. So we are all in it together. But the most important thing is that it is not about NDC, because we don't have Ghana, NDC Ghana. That's different from NPP Ghana. We are all in it as citizens of Ghana. And if any small group of people want to take us for a ride, scam us and deceive us to benefit their clan under a certain document that we have seen, well prepared as a blueprint on the path towards capturing the country, all the lands going to them, all permits going to them, all procurements going to them, everything that happens in the country. If you go behind it, you come to realize that they have a hand in it. So it's like a certain clan that looks like a huge octopus from the sea that has a lot of tentacles. I don't know how many tentacles an octopus has. I think it's about 8 or so. So the tentacles, each of them can spread and stretch and then grab something here and there and bring it to the mother octopus that you see the head on. So it's like a certain monster in the like of an octopus with a lot of hands or tentacles all over the place on the country. So they go into lands and then they pick something from there. They go into PDS and our electricity and then pick something from there. They go into our energy sector and look at what can they do. ECG, what do we do about ECG? What do we do about VRA? They go into the oil first and they and their cronies, their front end things over there. Then they go into our forests. They go into our lands. They go into our mining first. And every place that you delve into and then you open or lift the veil, you see their tentacles out there. We need to come together as common people who are Ghanaian citizens, who have a heritage in common, and the common place is Ghana. Put the language aside, put the tribe aside. We need to protect our country. We all need to come together, hold our hands together, and be fair to lift our country to benefit all of us. The education they proposed. If you look at some of these videos that are going on social media, and you see the clips, some of them try to inscribe, they try to write some kind of sentence or statement on those small videos. After every three word as inscription, after every statement, after every sentence, you come to realize that, how do you construct this? Is that a grammar? Is that a spelling? So bad. And then you ask yourself, are we doing dictation now in our school? Because this where we deliberately learn dictation, where we do construction, where we do comprehension, where we formulate sentences to make sure that they are appropriate. But today, and what is that coming from? It's just the school system that we have for ourselves. As for the basic schools, they have been relegated. Nothing is happening over there. People are still without tables and chairs. and they are ignored. The focus is on senior high, not even the basic, not the elementary, not the basic, but senior high, that 3 or 4 year. And what is happening is that because of lack of infrastructure, you go to some areas, some villages, you have Form 2 and Form 3, or Form 2 and Form 1 combined in one classroom. They say Form 2, who are these students? They say we are Form 1 and Form 2 students. So I ask, so how do you put these two classes into the same classroom and then they are here? How do you teach them? How do they study? You move the next room, it's Form 3, Form 3, Form 4, something like that. So how would a teacher teach? How would they attend to your assignments? How would they pay attention to the individual attention that is required of teaching? How can you identify the potentials in each child? And then they go through terminal examinations or yearly examinations. You fail nobody. You don't repeat anybody. You don't advise or counsel anybody as to how to lead his path into a certain career. They must all wholesale continue going. So if I am an A student and my intelligence level is higher than somebody who is a failure in the class, I must necessarily go to the same class with the person, be promoted to the same class, and then have the same one teacher standing in front of all of us and teaching us generally. You're either wasting my time as an intelligent A student, or wasting the time of the one who is not getting anything, or cannot be trained, cannot be taught. Because there are many ways of developing a child. Some people cannot do the academic work. Others are good at their fingertips. So you need to identify their potential and start them early. If it means an SSS certificate, yes, there are various ways. Over here we have GED, we have private classes or after school classes that a student can get is basic. So what is happening in Ghana, very soon we will not be able to compete. Our students will not be able to compete with the international community when it comes to students. Otherwise, Ghanaians are known to be very competitive when it comes to international education. When they go abroad, they do well. They are about the first, or among the leading students abroad. And we have seen it all over the place. But what is happening now in Ghana is just a dilution of what we have known over the years as being education. So it's a sad story. We all need to come together to look at things properly and get the country on its right course, or the country, as we know, is failing and will finally collapse on us, and that is the end of it.
Unfortunately,
I have done my best and done so with the best of intentions for my God and my country. I'll allow history to be the judge of how I have served my nation.
One day on television, I will kneel down and say, Mahama, I am sorry. And someone may kafa no say we an angel.
Say one day
Mahama was an angel.
Mahama kafra. Me Ndc you, but I stand for the truth. Mahama, sorry.
Oh, I'll take this opportunity to apologize to the former president. His Excellency John Mahama.
And yesterday, I was bold to apologize to President Mahama because he's a fine gentleman.
Corruption, Nanaba Wire times 10. Mahama, they see the Facha Ghana for the Facha and the Facha me.
My 5 years to upper your mama chopper, but no physical. Maybe the Japan chop. My body be bleed. No mama, my body be bleed.
Me say someone make a kafa Mahama who pa that time you piece of Mahama you from what you say. Na Mahama angel.
I have done my best. And that.
All right. So the EC wrote a letter to the political parties informing them that on the 11th, they should send a delegation so that the printing of the ballot papers, and Chairman, I'm sharing the letter that the EC sent to its political parties. And the NDC wrote making demands of the statistics that was requested of the EC. Then all of a sudden, the EC turned around quickly and said that no, they are not printing ballots starting from the 11th, which was 2 days ago, by the way. So what is happening with Ghana's EC? We continue to have these issues with our EC, and it seems as if the same people who are saying that the EC have been around for a long time and that they are experienced seems to be playing some jaskele with our lives.
Yeah, Kingsley, that is another risk and danger confronting Ghana when it comes to this electoral commission, which has become known in some of our own vocabularies as error commission, EC. It has never been the case since the beginning of this fourth Republican dispensation, 1993 or 1992 till now, for us to find any commission in place known as the Electoral Commission, making all these several flimsy and lateral mistakes all across, and they're not able to even walk back at their own work and find out whether our work is fine, is clean before we go public. And I believe that in every organization, if we have a team performing a certain task, when the task is done in-house, I believe we sit down, look at every T, every I very well crossed, do a certain internal auditing before we go to the world of public to display our work. So at least we will not be embarrassed. But come on, simple errors. Then you ask yourself, are these deliberate? I guess not. And in every democracy, constitutional democracy, the EC is a central piece to ensure that the democracy survives and works. If the EC fails, the democracy that we have assigned ourselves to will fail. Because the EC elections are usually the basis of civil strife in many, many countries, where deaths occur, where people go on exile, and women and children become the severest of the collaterals that come along with those kind of things. And we don't want that. And we should be aware. If there is any training elsewhere, outside the country, if there is any resource, organization somewhere for us to bring in to help train our EC officials, perhaps we need to do it. It's not too late now. And I would say that it's too late. And the need for us all to come together is long overdue. As players of this election, we come together in a round table, get a big conference room, stay there, keep ourselves there 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and make sure that all things are done properly for our own sake, and not for our own personal interest, as our interest of emerging as becoming the winner, but for the sake of the country, to hold the country together so that we can have peace. The peace is not about signing small papers and walking away and believing that there is peace. The peace is about, let's see ourselves as brothers and sisters. Let's see ourselves as traveling together on our democratic path. So when challenges like this occur, let's be honest and sincere now, magnanimous, and invite all of us as a family onto a table and listen to all shades of opinions and ideas and what the solutions are for us to come into a certain agreement for an open field, a level field, so that when we go into the election and then something happens or the results come out, nobody will have a cause to complain. Because what this regime is doing is almost like has compromised the EC, and there is no doubt about that. So far as I am concerned, what you have been seeing, there is no way anybody can convince me today unless something different changes. Can convince me today that this is an independent and a fair arbiter in the election process that we are traveling through now. No. Look at the letter that you referred to, which came out last week. Why that? Why would you just wake up one day on a fine Wednesday and write to the political parties? And the one I saw, the letter I saw is to NDC. I don't know whether they had copied other organizations or they wrote them separately. And normally I would want to see the same tone, the same language, the same construction going to all the participants of the election. So that if there is a way of saying copy, then we can know that it's been copied and all of them have been copied and they are receiving the same letter as constructed. But I don't see it that way. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt. The one that is circulating, none of the parties have circulated theirs on any platform. The one that is circulating is the one that they directed to NDC, addressed to NDC party. I'm telling them that, look, by tomorrow, provide your agents. The following day, on Thursday, that came out on Wednesday. They should come on Thursday for some kind of meeting or training, and then the following day, Friday 11th, we'll start printing ballot papers. When in fact, the whole commission, all the members, the numbers, the composition, from the chairperson to the deputy chair, to the other commissioners, to the officials who sat at IPAC about a week earlier, and we're working on something that I agree that we're going to, they are, corrected certain things, clean the register, and that they would, probably register. Then all of a sudden, you say they should come and print. How do you print ballots when we don't know who you register we are going to print the ballots for? How do you print ballots when we don't know the polling stations? You haven't publicized that. So you just wake up and say, come. And then you list a number of printing companies. And I was curious because I remember in 2020, one of the printing companies was tagged as after everything had been done and the printing agreed by the political parties and EC to end their life of printing ballot. That is, close the printing, because the time comes when they print, but the printing houses, agents are there. So when everything had been done and the ballot secured or maybe shipped out to wherever they were supposed to go, one of the printing presses or so, InnoLink, is that a name? InnoLink was found printing more, almost about 1 million. That had to be banked together because they couldn't defend the reason for printing more after we have finished printing as a whole collective group. You see the criminal intent? So that company, that publishing house, is still in the list. InnoLink. If it were somewhere, a normal thing to do is that for violating, in fact, they should have been blacklisted. In fact, they should have been penalized. They should have been banned. But their name is still there, found a space in there. And I hope and believe that the NDC leadership has identified it, I trust them, and that they are going to raise that alarm. If the last 4 years, when they did that, we didn't do anything, we didn't take them to task, we didn't bring them before court, they were not reprimanded, nothing happened. The reason why they are still there, I beg, this time around, at least they're not the only people who, if they miss out in the printing of the ballots, it will affect us. They should sit aside. They should not be allowed to do that anymore. Who knows what they can do the next time around? So I'm sorry. And then you do this, you write this letter, EC, then when NDC raises an alarm, you haven't given them a register. Because NDC responded. And the way you have been given emergency 24-hour notices, if it is a meeting, come to meeting tomorrow. If it's about this, do it tomorrow, or come to or today. Those things are not to be heard about a supposed reputable organization like a electoral commission. No, it's not fair. Meanwhile, on the table is the fact that you must provide the repaired or the cleanup register, display exhibited, and let's see what happens. And then again, a forensic auditing of the IT system is still on the table. You're not talking to anybody, and the time is running out, and then you come in a week's time and say it's too late. I don't think NDC or the properties, forget about them. NDC should allow that to happen. I want to even trust Alan Chamante's party, the movement, whatever movement it is. They are a bit up in doing. But when it comes to the rest of them, NPP, they don't see anything wrong. It's like they are in charge of the EC. And I want to believe so because of the composition of the EC itself, lend itself to the fact that this electoral commission is an extension of the NPP party. Because McMahon and Co, they are all there. And they are running the EC. What's the name? Jim Mensa doesn't know how to do anything. And their patrons are also supporting them there. And the IT guys are all NPP guys. And so we need to be vigilant. We need to raise our voices. We need to hold them to task. We need to stop them from trying to destroy in a way of rigging the election to better themselves. Manipulate the register and feed it with many names or transfer people from one polling station to the other or from one constituency to the other, so that on the day you arrive to vote, cast your vote on December 7th, you go and join a queue from 7 o'clock, maybe around 12 before you have your turn. You get to the table over there and your name is missing. To be told that you are in an absent list here, and from what we are seeing, you have been transferred from Tema polling station A to maybe Takrade polling station somewhere in Efiekuma. How are you going to get there? You have been disenfranchised. There's nothing they can do. You have lost your vote. By the way we run our elections, you have lost your vote forever. And it will affect somebody or affect a candidate. That is what they want to do. They are systematically manipulating the system so that somebody will emerge. Their preferred candidate or party will emerge. That's exactly what they are doing. And we should not allow them. But let me put it this way. If you look at the atmosphere, if you gauge the atmosphere of the country now, if you see the real demonstration, if you hear people talking, the voices that are talking, I am here to find any voice speaking for government. I am here to find any voice speaking fairly for EC. All the voices from media, largely, from industries, from labor, from unions, from various sectors, all voices are against Akufo-Addo Bawumia. They must go. Even Abosokan's spare parts, they are against them. So I don't know where they want to pass to win election. The election is done. They cannot declare election for themselves. If that's what they want to do, and then send the other parties to their court, the Supreme Court, they should know that they are calling for danger. It is not me calling for war. It's not me calling for coup. There will be a way along the way, if they do so, to make the country go into the ashes. You can. It's history. This is history. You don't need. I'm not cursing. The history tells us so. What we are doing, and we are seeing it, and we are drawing attention to it, and you are not listening, and you want to go, and then at the end of the day, you come on the 9th of December and say that your party, your candidate, is the winner. Oh, then the survival will be very difficult for the country. Because we will not sit down, and many will not sit down for you to scam us and make a fool out of us and come and tell us that we won. Because yes, you can declare it. You can go and say that, okay, in spite of all that numbers and all that, you have your own numbers, and then you can declare it today, and then by 2 o'clock you say, no, the number is not correct. I bring it again, and then you bring another and say you have passed. And then anybody who complains, you will not listen to the persons because you will say that you have declared. So if there's any concerns you have, go to Supreme Court. and you want people to go to Supreme Court on the election discrepancy, nobody's going to go. And you will have sent the country to the brink. And it will be dire, because that will be the end of Ghana. To now join the sister countries who have seen such upset, misunderstanding, and resort to war and civil strife, that's where you would have sent us to come 2025. If you decide to do that, better listen to reason. And we are calling on the peace councils. We are calling on the various missions, the international mission, the media, our clergy, the imam, all of them. If they sit down and that wind blows through, it will not affect one party. It will affect all of us, including them, their wives, their children, their grandchildren, and everybody. And we have no place to go than to start running. If you're in Accra Central, you start to find a way of running. And I don't know where you're going to head towards. And this is history, political history. And we have found it all over the place. And the way this EC and the president and the NPP government is doing, they are sending us over there. We cannot have an EC that is doing things as if everybody's a fool or an idiot and just follow us. And at the end of the day, the end, justifies the means. No, it will not be like that. Kingsley, thank you. You're mute.
Thank you very much. Once again, let me say thank you to Chairman Fred Opoku, Honorable Fred Opoku, Dr. Kwe, Ruth Thete, for all the things that you guys have done to keep this program going.
The 5 kg of rice has moved from 25 cedis to 165. Oh.
Hey! Boss, cement moved from 24 cedis to 105 cedis now.
Hey! The kenke is 5 cedis. The fish, I have 10, 15, and 20 cedis. Which one do you want?
Hey! Stop there.
Hey!
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
2024, yeah, back to Amawana. Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know.
It's Body Beats, the drum king.
2024, yeah, back to Amawana. Mahama. 2024, yeah, wanna know. What's the one pay, mama? I feel the world lose to mama. They say one pay, mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. I am pay, mama. I feel the you lose to mama. They say one pay, mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. 2024, yeah, back to mama. 2024, yeah, wanna know. Woman, yes, to Obama. Woman, yes, to Omano. Ubi, I see, yeah. See you. Oh no, I no go. Oh no, I no go. What to buy on the money? NDC you know go. One on body pa, one on pay Mahama. Ya no me do you no me gonna go see a video and watch it baganda. NDC I go faba, John the money Mahama. Ghana jin kwana ba, isi one my man wa baba. 2024 yeah back to Amawana. 2024, eh, I wanna know. 2024, yeah, but to Amawana. 2024, eh, I wanna know. Oh, my aunt to Obama. Oh, my aunt to Mano. Obi, I see you. Obi, I see you. Oh, no, I know. Oh, no, I know. Want to my John the money. NDC, you know. What's the one pay mama? I feel the world lose to mama. They say one pay mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. I am pay mama. I feel the you lose to mama. They say one pay mama. I didn't think I woke in mama. 2024, yeah, back to Amawana. 2024, eh, you wanna know. Woman, you to Obama. Woman, you to Omano. Ubi, I see, yeah.
survive another 4 years of the NPP if Mahama Bawumia is elected president. By 2028, Ghanaians would experience unprecedented levels of poverty. He will plunge the country further into massive debt. Dozens of new taxes will be forced on the people to pay for Bawumia's economic mismanagement and corruption. Each family would owe the NPP government.
All right. My greetings again to Priscilla and Gina and Co. Greetings to all of you guys. I'm grateful. We continue to be grateful. Sonia, what's also work at Momobi? And I'll be asked, say Mukoswa Mortey, the NDC Forum. Right here. My producers are on the road. That is why I'm struggling today. They are the ones I just mentioned. They are on the road, so I'm struggling a little bit. But Chairman, there was we saw a silly video this week that the loose talker Napo said some really for lack of better words, okay, I don't want to go there, but this is what Napo said, and of course we staged Madam, the incoming vice president's voice to it, who was very kind. She's diplomatic instead of just calling it a pure idiotic behavior.
Me na me education minister, and I'm the one who say oh my curriculum asesa send kola school yen chuo mu say adwuma ni ba ko de ba ni ye me tu si anu a che di mre oni okuja to ablakwa and omu fa asofo ani imamfo and omu ko kro so and omu chen kola teacher for chen kola said the bema kisi bema said the oba edene ba oba ye oda
so on fanchire mofra
sa na oka na de da de on kan ye ada na wa che ho sa hwe enyine ehia mpaibo asoma mekan de discover ye senya oba ko hu no oda se phone ho on fa document
ma prof bibisa o mo ye bibisa
no allege let him prove mon ko fa document no
no.
Oh yes, let him bring the document that shows to say curriculum LGBTQ plus.
Yes, also mo design to oncho no be hu ya show.
May say Uncle Famra.
Na po asebe enye vice president asem kan nka onya ware ye no. Na po aseba man for kafa ne ho no so bie na no na like what kind of chairman, let me not get into this one. Your take on this one, then we go to the final topic on this.
Yeah, Kingsley. Chufoka, I want to say, Obasima, Nasem Yetia. The words of a native daughter are very few, but rich and comes with wisdom and sense. So when you listen to Nana, her response to the interviewer, she just said, "Young Bompire, is that all?" I said, "I'm a candidate, Young Bompire."
Yeah.
Obia yateten wofie. Obia ofie busuam. Obia omame ehwe no, edware no. Ehwe na tadie. Echre no kasa. Echre no anote. Obia ne papa ehwe no se obenya abeye obapa, so that the parents can be proud about you.
So chairman, this one is it Palamase or Jimakpala?
Kingsley, I pick lessons from you when it comes to this series.
So this one seems to be Palamase because Otufo said yet a tail, which means the parents did their part, but the boy just doesn't listen to anybody. So they have to tell him, but he refused to listen.
I get you. Palamase nyahama. Woji. Bon. They tried their best as parents to bring him up in a cultured and good manner. But the guy cross the thread. The anyeye. No jimakpla. It means your parents didn't even take care of, they didn't even handle it. So
fantastic.
When it comes to Napo's case, me, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't know his house. I don't know the parents. So I cannot differentiate. It could be both.
But based on what Otunfo said, we can assume.
Otunfo is trying to be a surrogate parent.
Oh.
He had no relationship with. He has no relationship with Napo. Napo never walked through his hands.
No.
Otunfo was somewhere when he was born. He also traveled outside.
He was in the UK.
He was in the UK. So how come? When did he get Napo to? Napo was left in the street of Kejetia, if you like, Mencia. The neighborhood. He was just going to school. He was checking in the school and coming out. Luckily for him, he went to the best of the schools because of his house, because of his background. So they threw him to the school. Unfortunately, it turned out not to be like some of them that we know who speak and we know where they come from. But Napo. So is that the person NPP sat down to choose for us in case we fail ourselves? You become our deputy or vice president someday, so that when the president is in the post or the president is unable to perform, this is the person that we will have as president. You see, I look at him. When you play the video, I look at him from head to toe. I realized he was sweating, okay? And he was turning around. Well, first of all, sweating. And then I wanted to look at his eyes. The eyes looked drowsy and tired. Then I moved to look at what was he wearing. Then I saw what we will call warm clothing here in abroad.
Right.
Warm clothing. Warm clothing. Sometimes it could be winter clothing, depending on where you live.
Right.
Okay. So how come in a hot weather like Ghana,
a normal human being,
for a normal son of Otunfo, who is a candidate with a team to handle him, his wardrobe, his dressing, his speeches, what he wears, how he goes out, how he gestures, all these are managed from behind the scene. It's like you performing as an artist or a dramatist. You are prepared.
But Chairman, could that actually not be part of the strategy? Because you remember, Napo was looking very good, but immediately they mentioned Napo's name. The guy has grown so lean that if you don't put him in these pajamas and things to make it look like thick clothing for the body to still be there, if you want to wear summer clothes, Napo will not look good.
And you when you throw a big batakari on you, at least it covers you. That's all Baumia does. Well, some big batakari or get some boo-boo, and then throw it from the head to toe.
True.
We do it. But this one, and then you have a hood behind it, or hood.
Yeah.
But the next time you throw the hood over his head, and then we are done. And you see the party paraphernalia, the flag or so.
Right.
You don't put it on one shoulder. It should be long enough to go over your shoulders.
Right.
So there shouldn't be a short towel. No, this is a serious matter. So you want to ask who are the people who make sure that this guy prepares himself, brushes his teeth, and put powder in his face. If he wants to put a lipstick, he must put a lipstick before going out. Who are these people? And the NPP and their campaign team, they're not serious at all. They have failed the party with this kind of person. And then you have forgotten that when you were the education minister, you have stood somewhere to talk about LGBT and that you were introducing it from kindergarten to high school. You did that. And in fact, you got some money out of this because you sold yourself to the international world, to the LGBT community that you are going to. And so even you continue to build a curriculum towards that. Some textbooks came out. People cried over it and they were withdrawn. Now you turn around and say that you didn't even mention the education minister. You went to one of the deputies. the deputy in charge of higher education, and said he was the one who introduced it. Meanwhile,
in a basic education.
In a basic education. I call you are correct there. But you're correct, sir.
The man in charge of tertiary education introduced something for basic education.
Basic education. At least you end up and say, don't mention them, say, oh, the lands education ministry. That at least we could understand you. And you don't have any evidence to support it. Nothing to support it. And we all live in Ghana. You also live there. You're the education minister, and we all live there. So if you're talking to us that way, what do you think we are doing? You know that you're talking to the whole Ghanaian population. And they will make you out. They will rather look. The moment you get off from that stage, they know you guy, you lied. Bloody liar you are. It will bounce back. It will not have any impact on the numbers. It will rather affect your numbers so far as the election is concerned. It will not add. If people don't know, you don't lie and think that your lying will add. It doesn't add. Better admit your fault. If you admit your mistakes, you rather add value. You know, it increases your credibility before the public eye. They know you are being honest at least. But if you lie like this, and then you want somebody to give their mandate or give their time to you, then you're deceiving yourself. You're taking everybody for a fool. You see, when I saw this guy being appointed as a minister of education from a dentist background, I don't know what education he had to be able to know what should be. He one time, when students were collapsing, when they parked them at a Blackstar Square or somewhere,
yeah,
you know, I think it was about admission process B.
Right. When the computer jumped.
Exactly. Computer has jumped. If we have challenge, it's normal in our life. You don't say the former president recruited people to come there and feign collapse to make your government unpopular. You don't do that. The same person was the one who said that when Qatar had tidal waves and they were asking for budget, take care of that emergency. He said, Qatar for now, and the young strike. Yes, woman. Are we running a government under tribal and regional basis? We are running a country. Nkrumah showed us that. Nkrumah put the Ghana together in pieces. He wasn't looking at tribal. He brought us together.
Yeah.
From Trans-Togoland to the Blue, to the Ashanti, to the North. He brought us together to make the whole country Ghana. Otherwise, it wasn't Ghana.
But, Chairman, this is a guy who said all kind of things to the NPP people, and even this one, when he was saying the thing, there were people who were cheering and people who were really excited.
Yes.
This is the guy who said this.
One voter, one T-shirt. You hear T-shirt, they are about voters that almost wash it because NPP T-shirt they Obiani wa baji NPP T-shirt that shall be to Obi fufro. At the end of the rally, I ever see Canadian T-shirt. Never coffee, never T-shirt, no man for no moon share, no do over trouble and the
Yeah, we have the gullible. We have gullible people in society. So when you are so much deeply colored and your DNA or your blood, the whole thing becomes like a color, without brain. You listen to this and then you clap and you're happy. You will not see the nonsense and the stupidity in those utterances. Because all you are hearing is a blue color, a NPP. That's all. You become like a zombie, a dummy, a sycophant, and in fact, somebody who has lost his senses to a certain political party. That's it.
One of the things that we have as Africans and as Ghanaians is our respect for the dead. But even the dead, Napo did not spare.
Yeah. President Kufoyebi. Nanado, why baby? Eh, no crap, being high mitika. That's a cabio. Say, am I a bagana hanging? Obiani Hawaii, you must send another dunker fraud. Everything. Oh, yeah, papa, and I am mammy.
Now Pompa say, Mamuba Nyadi and Chewa, now Yenipa. Obioba will be our person the back on the name, a chair. It's Dr. Kwame Kumayebi, Dr. Buzi Abeyebi, Dr. Hila Lama Abeyebi, Dr. Rollins Abeyebi, Dr. John Ajekuku Abeyebi, Dr. Bakuno, Dr. Atamils Ebeye Kaka.
So he was one of the cheerleaders who were cheering them up during the regime of Atamils. They were ridiculing him for the ill health, and they called him many, many names, including his own, our own president now, who was also ridiculing and went, on platforms just accent and wishing him well and the deaths and all that. When the man had not even gone near death, they were circulating rumors that the man had died. We have heard all. Went to South Africa for medical attention. They circulated among Ghanaians that the man had died. They make fun, and they think death is for only a few people or some people who are assigned to death. Everybody dies. Today what is a scientific to? I'm sorry to say so. So we should be very careful. As for death, it's there. It's appointed unto man to once. You die, and then the next thing is judgment. So as we are alive, we all keep on praying, and then divine intervention keeps us going. It doesn't matter what. But when your brother or your sister is handicapped or challenged by health in a certain way, you don't announce it. And our culture frowns on that. You have sympathy on that. And when the dead are gone, we don't call their names in certain circles to make some points. You don't do that. It's none of our tradition. And if he was a royal, he was born in Ahimfi, and as a son of a royal, is the least to mention anything near conversations like this at all. He's just a bad boy. He doesn't deserve to come near anywhere as a minister of education, nowhere near a minister, even as a gender and children's minister. He doesn't need to come anywhere near there. He doesn't belong in ministerial, because you minister. If you're a minister, you minister the people. You should understand and be able to encourage and inspire and design courses, curriculum, and then show the path towards improving lives and educating people. This person doesn't fit in. He can't survive in any serious group. And I'm sorry, that is what the whole NPP that we knew. We can criticize them or want to criticize, but they had very intelligent and serious people in the past. I can mention a number of them. I won't mention those names that you have known. I can mention, what about Dr. Safwedu? Dr. Safwedu, he was very philanthropic. Look up Openyin Kwame in PNE. Very fair. A serious human being of MPP.
The Barry
Bruce and all that. And now this is the riffraff that we have. And we don't know where they have leadership. And who is his spokesperson? Because I know the candidates have spokesperson. When it comes to now we have spokesperson in Ajani Boateng and Erika J. And when it comes to the president, we have a spokesperson for our president aide, Joyce, and her deputy. Who is the spokesperson for Baumia? And Baumia is a miracle. That rude guy, Abuaji from a Kwapim side, a Kwapim boy who speaks like that, whose attitude doesn't look like Obia Yewu no people so. Onye Kwapimba. Yeah, what the two Biasa from the mountains. Ofie, the Biafran Ofie higher mountains one. And your son or what the two on. I don't know who is Baumia's spokesperson. What's the name? This boy, Napo. Who is his spokesperson? Chris, do you know?
No.
Okay.
very, very unfortunate.
You can engage in all the propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Has the exchange rate not exposed Dr. Bawumia and the NPP? At the end of December 2016, the cedi to dollar exchange rate was 4 Ghana cedis to $1. Today, it's about 16 Ghana cedis to $1. This is more than 4 times the amount of cedis one needed to buy a dollar in 2016. Today, as a result of the free fall of the cedi, many businesses have lost significant amount of their working capital, with many collapsing in the process. Did they not say yeti sikaso?
Yeti sikaso. Omenyo hiamai. Nenam amemua enkoyeti.
Ghanaians are worse off as prices continue to soar on a daily basis. Putting food on the table has become a daily struggle. The hardship is real. It's time for change. Vote for change. Vote for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
How can we solve the unemployment crisis in Ghana? Yes, Massa.
By using formula 133.
Can you expatiate?
Say, this simply means 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. That is the Mahama 24-hour economy policy. Under this policy, businesses will be given tax incentives, cheaper electricity, financial support, and security support services to encourage them to work 24/7 by adopting 3 work shifts of 8 hours each. This will triple job opportunities in the country. This policy will boost production, increase productivity, and generate well-paying jobs in all participating businesses and public organizations. Ejumanu A.O.B.
Excellent. The 24-hour policy will be a game changer.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
The 5 kg of rice has moved from 25 cedis to 165.
Hey! Boss, cement moved from 24 cedis to 105 cedis now.
Hey! The kenke is 5 cedis. The fish, I have 10, 15, and 20 cedis. Which one do you want?
Hey! Stop the A.
Hey!
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
If you don't stop the A and vote for change, the AA will double under Bawumia. It's very unfortunate, but that is the truth. It's just the fact. Like before we will go to the last topic, and on the matter of peace. On the matter of peace, the Cardinal Turkson had this to say.
Peace pacts have been very important to the electoral process from the very beginning. It has become, unfortunately, a thorny issue in this election because one party says that unless there's justice, you cannot call us for a peace pact.
That's the point. That's the point. A peace is actually and essentially an attitude of the spirit, attitude of the heart. Peace is not something that, so you go to sign a paper. You sign a paper. So how does that correspond to how you feel deep within? If there's no correspondence between the signature on the paper and what you feel deep within, it's meaningless. So because, to be at peace or to be peaceful with whatever, it's an attitudinal change and a attitudinal relationship between you and the other. You accept the other. You accommodate the other, whatever. Now, this is not always commensurate with signing a paper with anything. So it just means that in doing all of this, we should go deeper than simply appending our signature onto some formulas or whatever type of things that have been created. We need to record, to be at peace with a person is to accept the person deep down within you. Consider them as a brother, as a neighbor, as whatever type of thing. Be at peace with the person. You sign a paper without being at peace within you with the person, doesn't mean much.
And then so we read this week of the disturbance between the NDC and NPP in Momobi. Chairman, take it away.
Yeah, Kingsley, saw that unfortunate clash of members of the two parties. but the news coming in is just skeletal. So we will not be able to actually say exactly what happened. But whatever it is, I believe there was some misunderstanding, clashes here, and an exchange of gunfire. But somebody got shot in the foot. I saw the pictures in the video, and it's just bad. And here's a case where we have started again this election season, and there are hotspots across the country where we experience those kind of skirmishes with people being wounded and killed to the extreme cases, and this will not be happening. The peace is very important. Election shouldn't be a do or die, and election shouldn't be I must kill you. But sometimes it's just an event. It's very difficult when you sit it down and somebody wants to just cheat you and insult your intelligence, provocative. And you need, as a man, to also respond in an equal measure or in a measure that you can also master. So it ends up in such unfortunate circumstances. And we've been living with this for a very long time. The institutions and the various agencies that come along with them, I'm not sure that they are up to task when it comes to ensuring that this do not reoccur, because there are a few things that I think should be done. When you listen to the Cardinal Turkson speaking, yeah, is trying to look at the signing or appending signatures to a piece of paper with a certain statement on it. That is not enough. If you listen to him very carefully, he sees it as not being enough. He's talking about if you do that, and it's not about a certain divine or godly sorrow, or godly concern, divine within you, that you are a human being, the other party is a human being, and that forgiveness is the way to go. And so you must see the person as your brother. You must, whatever it takes, be able to forgive 77 times 7 and all that you need, so that you can live at peace with that brother the next hour into the future. That is what peace means. But what he fell short of saying, which I respect him for not going in that area, is about what is it that brings peace? Because that is what those who get involved in election, that is the question they have been asking. And this election, the question is this, that if yesterday something like this happened, and then we all came together and formed a committee, a commission to investigate, go into it, ask all the questions, and the commission comes with a report with certain consequences, reprimand and all conversations and all that. At least you pacify your brother who has been hurt. Give the person conversation at least. That will lead towards the person going deep down into his heart to say, let me fetch or draw into my divine nature with God and say, I've forgiven you. If all those things are not done, or if somebody is punished, removing from one position to the other, or dismiss him, or give him some jail time, short time, or whatever it is, and I don't see that happening, then trying to speak with me to touch my inner spirit, it becomes very difficult. It becomes superficial. So certain things need to be done. Then immediately after, I'm using the ayahuasca case as a recent example. And then immediately after that, worse things happen, worse than what we had experienced a year or two earlier. And then come another season of elections, and then it goes worse. And remember, even at the earlier one party was warned that there's a precursor, a rehearsal to what will happen in 2020. And it did happen worse. And nothing happened. And our father, who is leading the country, and the commander-in-chief himself, whose boys, whether they were their boys or they were not his boys, they went out there, they are all his sons, and he's in charge. And he made no utter of word. He didn't say anything, no whimper about it at all. And he's still living with us. With families, wounded families hurt, lives lost just because of elections, then what is the moral courage, moral step, moral footing for us as elders like Cardinal Turkson and co of the Peace Council or Council of State or elders to go to these parties again, especially the other one, like Kennedy, go sit down with him and say that we plead with you, forgive, go deeper into your spirit and forgive him. See the person as your brother. Go to the future. I mean, if there were nothing like stupidity, those words would not have been formulated. You're making the person an idiot. You make him feel like he's a fool. You're making him as if he doesn't have intelligence, and that you are belittling the intelligence that he believes in. That if you come to me the paper and say after all these things and nothing going to happen, and then you call me to table and then ask me to again append a signature to sort of swear that I will live by peace. Yeah, I'm peaceful. I am the villain. I'm the one who has been wounded, who has been hurt over the period. Nothing has been done. And then you want me to sign again? I won't sign. I won't sign. I'll take my. I'll go in protecting myself, because I will not rely on the institutions that are supposed to protect me. I will not rely on the soldiers. I will rely on the police. I will rely on my own faith between me and my God. I'm not going to cause trouble. But if anybody causes trouble, I'm not calling on the police. Because the police will be there and those troubles will be caused and nothing happens. So I'll only master whatever protection I can. I'll guard myself as much as I can to do what I can. And there is no formula for protecting myself, and there is no formula for retaliating. That's what we are left with. And I call strongly on the fact that in this very election, we are all going to the ground. It's going to be a strong fight. We know this enemy, this monster of NDC, Akufo-Addo, and his Bawumia government, and the various paramilitary groups they have clothed and armed to the teeth to help them continue. We are going, if it means suicide, we are going for the suicide. And that's what we'll do. We must protect this country, or we must salvage this country. And it doesn't take a walk through the park to get a country back on its feet. We need to do the sacrifice because our forefathers sacrificed for the Ghana to become independent. So we cannot be exchanging flowers and signatures thinking that this very tyrant of a government, the despotic regime that we have on us, will free ourselves out of it by exchanging flowers. It's not going to be flowers. They are armed and they have told us, they have warned us, and they have displayed it. So we must be ready to stand strong to protect our terms and our papers. And when it comes to fighting, then it should be done over our dead bodies. And it would have been a life worth. There are people who are demonstrating. They went to demonstrate, and they have been handcuffed and shackled, and they're against the laws of the country, manhandled and abused, and breach the laws against them, and are put in prisoner remands and police cells, about 25 per room. If you know what police cells means, you understand the ordeal that they are subjected to for just demonstrating. So this is not going to be an easy fight. It's a war, and it's a war in all its spheres, and we should prepare for it. Nobody is a human being more than the other. Nobody is a man more than the other. And the masses, sometimes, there's always masses are stronger than the military. And that is what we should believe in. That if we mass ourselves, if we go in as a communal labor, and then gather ourselves as soldiers who are marching to war, even without arms, but with our own masses, that is a powerful tool to use in making sure that we repel anybody who wants to subdue us into subjugation. And it shouldn't happen. And that's the last call. If we don't do this, that's the end of Ghana. Because I don't see any political power trying to master itself and gather itself again after, we've been subdued. This is the last straw, and we must fight for our survival. It's very important. And that's my appeal.
Thank you.
The victory of Mahama.
is at an important juncture in its history. And the decision that we make on 7th December is going to reflect on the future of this country. In the last Afrobarometer survey, more than 80% of Ghanaians said that our country is going in the wrong direction. If you are walking or you are driving and you are going in the wrong direction, what do? You change your course. And that is why on 7th December, Ghana must change course. We cannot solve the crisis in which we are with the same people who caused the crisis in the first place. The youth of this country don't have 4 years to waste. The youth of this country are in a hurry to create the opportunities that will make them live a dignified life. The youth of this country want an experienced hand. They want a safe pair of hands. They want a hand that they have seen do it before to come back and take this country and rescue us from the mess in which we have been dumped by the Akufa.
NPP, baby. I come to corner wa be do ta kwada. The myself who never ya wa did you load where one kwa boli bo kwa be kasa fanapia. Abrahawa. Ada NPP libel NPP funa we be sia. In the bay ya ba we ya da. Abada. Akome di gado. Akome di hamba. Wala wo be na la police ka kwa ta do da fu people na kanu do lupu. Yale bro. Akome di gado NPP abede. Akome luku ya na.
Come lady, NPP ban. Come lady. Chairman, your final words. 1 minute. Then sorry, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Kingsley. And we want to keep want to assure Ghanaians to keep their hope alive. They should keep faith on the path that President John Mahama has chosen for us. It will be difficult. It will not be easy. But if you keep the faith and keep the prayer up and back on this journey with him, we believe that we'll be able to serve this country. And with all the policies that he has laid out, that he has been talking about, trumpeting about, that we all enjoy, that will take care of our women, take care of our children, take care of our education, improve it, take care of the economy so that people can have jobs for the youth and all in the country. It will not be easy. The country has been damaged, but let us rescue the country and we will embark on the war together. Believe in John Mahama, believe in the NDC. On December 7th, don't forget that it is the number 8. Also, be alert to the tricks that our opponents, the NPP, are playing. They are trying to, deceive and trick people out so that they will vote for number 1. But you know the umbrella. The umbrella is not a new symbol. The umbrella is just clear, and you will identify it and be able to place your tongue. Mahama is not a new person. He's not among those that you are showing themselves as candidates. Mahama has been with us. He has been a president before. So identifying those symbols on the ballot paper will not be a difficulty at all. But just make sure that you don't destroy your ballot. Thank you, Kingsley.
Thank you very much. Just like Chairman is saying, there is no actual number on the ballot. There will not be an actual number. You will just have to pay attention to the candidate and to the symbol. And the symbol we all know already. So focus on the symbol. Focus, because our parliamentary candidate, most of them are number 3 and so on and so forth. So our presidential candidate is the 8th candidate, but don't go counting. Don't worry yourself. Just look at the hehi, look at the umbrella, and let's put Ghana under the umbrella. Put your fingers on the candidate, on the umbrella, or the space on the same line with the candidate and the umbrella, the space that is provided. Put your votes there and cast your vote for the candidate. When you finish, the paper will be long. Fold it like this. Fold it like this. Don't fold like this. Don't fold like this. We will bring a real ballot and we will walk through this before we go. Thank you guys very much. My thanks to Chairman Richard Alija, Rashid. I am aware you guys have your meeting today. Hopefully next week we all continue this. So Chairman Kojuago, Ruth Tete, my producers who are still on the route, Kafui, Salasi, Gina, Sonia, and Eunice, Pushpa, all of you guys, I'm very grateful for you guys. Hopefully, let's do this again Sunday. Mike Ahlija, we got to talk. Let's. Me and my brother have to talk. So let's get this thing going. We are going to be in this country, Ghana, and make sure that we all work together in tandem. So that the work is done and done properly. The plan of the NPP will be brought to naught. The plan of the EC will be brought to naught. If the EC is not worried and is not afraid of anything, let us keep this thing clean. And hopefully we don't have to open anybody's nyash. Let's keep this thing clean. I wish everybody well. Let's meet again this coming Sunday. But once we get off, those who have won, your names and will be posted immediately, and then you can make your post after that. If you have not been reached, I think just one person that I've not been dealt with last week. We will take care of it. Don't worry at all. It will be taken care of. Sometimes we just need a reminder. The Son of Man is busy. I wish you guys very well. Call people to come and follow the program and continue to support this, and let's make this happen. I wish everybody well.